Well, okay. Well, I'm Nikki with FM99, and I am super stoked to be here talking to the one and only Corey Taylor. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Oh, hanging in there like everybody else.
Surviving the plague, yeah.
Surviving the plague, trying to anyway. Speaking of, how's life?
I mean, it's weird. It's like I'm having this really good time, and yet I'm trying not to rub it in people's faces because some people have it bad, So, I mean, we social distance, we quarantine, we wear masks, we do our thing, we try to do everything smart, and just kind of look out for each other, So I'm like, this is the longest I've been off the road for 20 years, so I'm loving it. I get to be a dad, I get to be a husband, I get to clean my house, I get to cook. I'm doing it all. I'm loving this, So awesome. I'm trying not to rub that in people's faces.
Well, I mean, it's nice to see the dad, husband, house man side of Corey Taylor. How often do we get that?
That's very, very true. I don't think anybody would pay to see that, though. It's not very. It's usually me just waxing the floors in my sweatpants, which is never a good thing to see. So,
fair enough. That's fair. Where are you actually? Where is home for you right now?
Las Vegas.
Okay.
I've lived here for about 11 years now. I moved here with my ex, and then when we split up, I just I stayed here. I mean, I would have stayed here anyway because we have a daughter together. But at the same time, I really grew to love this place. I really love this town. There's when COVID's not happening, there's so much to do, and yet there's so much cool stuff off the strip as well. Like all the local stuff, like all the local restaurants and everything. It's pretty rad.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love Vegas. I've only been there a handful of times, but I mean, what's not to love, truly?
Well, there is that.
Awesome. Well, I got to hear, so you were involved in a super cool project with 6 a.m. Artists for Recovery.
Yeah.
Maybe It's Time came out today, happens to be International Overdose Awareness Day. So you, Joe Elliott from Def Leppard / Brantley Gilbert, Ivan Moody of Five Finger Death Punch, AWOL Nation, Tommy Vex of Bad Wolves. What was that like?
It was pretty rad, when Nikki hit me up to do it, I think it was pretty early on in the project, and he emailed me and he's like, I'm thinking about doing this thing, and I said, stop right there, I'm in. I don't even care. I don't need to hear the song. I believed in the cause,
of course,
and B, it's Nikki Sixx, man.
Yeah, right.
One of the biggest crew heads on the planet, So I was just thrilled to be a part of something like that, and also to do it for such a good cause. I've really tried to raise awareness about the dangers of not only opioid addiction, but also all kinds of addictions that
in general
twist a life into knots and kill. So without any hesitation, I was ready to do it.
That's awesome. And so the funds raised from all different ways you can buy the song go toward what? Tell me about the charity that it's going.
Well, it's Artists for Recovery, and it's what they do is they try to help they help with education. They try to help people get into rehab. They help with therapy. They help with all the things that really go into a successful recovery for addiction. Because it's sometimes you just need that extra little bit of help, and we've all been through it, so we understand the struggle that a lot of us kind of go through. We were lucky enough to have those tools at our disposal, so this is us kind of paying it forward.
That's amazing. What an incredible thing to be a part of. The song is fantastic. I was really excited to not just hear it today, but to read, kind of about the project itself. And,
right.
I mean, everybody that was involved.
Yeah. It was, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
No, just how many times do you get to say you're on a song with Joe Elliott and Slash,
Right.
I mean, in addition to, everybody else. But yeah, it was a pretty special program.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was really excited. So not only do you have that going on, now I saw you have some autographed guitars that you are auctioning. Yes.
Yeah.
ACLU Foundation. Tell me about that.
That was something that I did. I did something similar to that about 3 or 4 months ago. Okay. When COVID hit, I was right in the middle of kind of going through all of my stuff, and I was going to donate some guitars to charity anyway, to raise money for various charities and whatnot. And eBay came to me and were really, really interested in doing something where it was kind of a dollar for dollar match thing, where depending on the money raised, they would match me. So the first time around, we raised $150,000. So this time around, I'm hoping to do that and more. And it's for the ACLU, which is it's something that right now is something that I think is in dire need of really pushing an agenda that deals with real civil rights, real equality, real trying to break down racial tensions and try to get people back to a place where we can talk again and not scream at each other. So that's ostensibly what I'm trying to do.
What a beautiful world that would be again.
Yeah, that'd be, well, I think until the internet and social media just like kills itself, I don't know if we're ever going to have that kind of vibe, but who knows?
Yeah, well, we can always hope. We can hope for that world because it sounds
I got all my fingers crossed. So I mean, I'm trying,
Yeah, I'm with you completely. So obviously love you in Slipknot, love you in Stone Sour. I'm really, really excited about your debut solo album. I've read a couple times where you've said now was the time.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Why?
Well, I mean, people have just been asking me for years, like, especially in the last couple of years, like it was like the question just kept coming up and coming up. And this is something that I really hadn't thought about in a long time. There was a time about 10 years ago where I was threatening to do something, but that was under the auspices of a band called JBKB, which was Junk Beer Kidnap Band. It was basically a way for me to do a solo thing and hide behind a band name, basically,
Okay.
Why
would you want to do that?
Because maybe at the time I wasn't as confident as I am now. I was still kind of trying to figure out musically what I wanted to do, because I had all these songs and they were in such different modes that trying to figure out and narrow it down was really, really difficult. So, but when that fell apart, I really kind of put my focus back on Slipknot and Stone Sour and really, making sure that those were my two main venues. But then as time went on, more and more people just kept hitting me up and asking me. And I finally just got to the point where I was like, if I don't do it now, I don't think I ever will, because I need to know. So this was something that I was gonna record in January and February of next year, but then COVID hit, all the touring went away. So it just became like, how soon can you guys get here? Let's do this, So yeah, that's just history.
That's awesome. So the release date is not going to change then. October 2nd.
October 2nd. Yeah. We're locked in. We're ready to go.
So what's it like? I mean, like you said, this is your first time not being on the road in 20 years, releasing an album without being able to tour. I mean, how strange is that, for you?
It's interesting. I tell you that much. It's one of those things where it makes you have to think outside the box, like it's one of those things where it's like, well, how the hell am I going to, promote this basically,
Right.
I will say this. I mean, from all my issues with like, the internet and, cyber life and all that stuff, it has really, I've been fortunate to have that, because if not, this would have been a totally different thing. I've been able to record and put out like little acoustic snippets here and there. I've been able to obviously do hours and hours and hours of interviews from my bed,
We appreciate that.
I mean, I will say this. I do a courtesy and I do put pants on for people. I wouldn't feel right about not doing that.
Should I have done that? Just kidding.
Well, I mean, hey, look, TJ, that's my own personal journey. That's up to you. But yeah, man, I mean, it's got us having to think creatively about how we're going to do this and how we're going to promote it and what we're going to do. So, we're looking at virtual live shows, it's like things like that. We're looking at different ways to promote it. And, I mean, it's you'd be surprised. I mean, to me, and I hate to say it, but so much creativity can come from adversity.
Absolutely.
When you're pushed into a corner or you're pushed against a wall, trying to figure out what the hell you're going to do, that's really when the lights come on sometimes. So I'm just really fortunate to have a great team with me who loves the music as much as I do. And they're just trying to get my dumb face out in front of everybody,
It's interesting too, though, because, in this time of, adversity and all of us kind of being forced in a corner, the things that come out of this, it's what all of us are feeling. I mean,
Right.
we're all, right, wrong, or indifferent, we're all on the same page. We're all in this together. And so there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, which is, I don't know if it's scary or cool, but you're definitely right. It's a hell of a ride.
It is indeed a hell of a ride. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so some virtual shows. So that might be a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mentioned, which is awesome.
Yeah, something we're looking at. Looking at that, we're looking at some of the social distancing shows that we've seen that have had some pretty good success in England.
Yeah.
It was actually something that we were talking about a few months ago, actually, something similar to what they did in England with the bike barricades around the different pods and whatnot. It was actually something we talked about doing here in town. So that might actually be something that is still a pliable, idea.
Yeah. Which, I mean, shoot, live music. Oh, it would be amazing.
It would be amazing. I'm not giving up hope. I know everybody's just like, this is the new way. I was like, no, it's not.
No, it can't.
You can't even get people to wear masks at the grocery store. You think you're going to keep them from going to see shows? It's just figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I mean, I don't know. I obviously can't speak for the world, but I'll do anything to be back in front of live music again. I mean, I'll wear a spacesuit if I need to. Just get me there.
Well, I tell you what, I think everybody realizes that I'm pretty used to wearing a mask. So
yes, that's it. We all need to wear masks like you, and it'll be okay. Then it'll be cool.
Maybe that's when Slipknot goes out and does the maskless show when the whole audience is in the masks.
See, I like where your head is.
Yeah, see, I'm figuring it out. I'm using the grape. I mean,
it's very, very, very creative. Well, awesome. CMFT is the name of your debut solo album. October 2nd is the date. We're really, really excited to hear the rest of the album. Excited to hopefully see you soon.
Yeah. I'm just as excited as you guys are. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope we get to play it for you. And that is the plan, is to take this out and really tour the world with it. So,
well, I can't speak for the world. I'm ready. So you let us know when you're going to be there. And
that's one person who's ready. We put this list together. It's going to be great.
That's right. Well, those of us that raise our hands, we can just come. Don't worry about everybody else.
Absolutely. There you go.
It'll be great. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for putting on pants. And
you're very welcome.
Hopefully we will see you soon.
Absolutely.
All right, Corey. Thank you.
No worries.
All right. Bye.
Bye.